Adoption services in Devon are appealing for potential adoptive parents to give a home to older children and siblings, as well as those with additional needs. It comes as nationally there's been a 23% decrease in the number of children being adopted over the last 5 years. In a moment, I'll be speaking to Adopt South West, but first we hear from Luke Williams in South Devon about his experience of being adopted.
Hi, I'm Luke. I was adopted at 3. And adoption for me was my second chance at life and my defining point for the person that I am today. We were put up for adoption due to my biological parents using recreational drugs and other things. It was myself and my younger brother that were adopted here, and then my 2 older sisters and my older brother, they were adopted or sort of more permanently fostered in Exeter. We had yearly contact. Around Christmas time we'd do like a present swap or sort of keep in touch. Growing up we were always told we were adopted, but it was always framed in quite a child-friendly way. And then in my sort of, I'd say coming up to teenage years, I started asking more questions. I had some contact with my brothers and sisters, and that's where the questions started cropping up really. So this was my little claim to fame, the green blue Peter badge. Displayed on what's affectionately known as the adoption teddy. So the teddy was given to myself on the day that I was adopted when we came out of the courts, and I received a blue Peter badge for growing a rather large pumpkin, and I thought where better than to stick it on the bear. I think the relationships that are forged out of adoption are incredibly strong and incredibly special. There are definitely some challenges and some questions that may not get asked within a sort of typical family setup, but it's incredibly special, giving somebody a second chance, a second opportunity at life. I think for me, there was always a sense of being really proud about being chosen. There was never a time where I felt less than or undervalued in any way, shape or form. It was always incredibly special.
Well, Amanda White is head of Adopt South West. Thank you for joining us. And Amanda, listening to Luke's powerful account there of being adopted, I mean, it just goes to show how important adopters are.
Yes, and I think, as you've heard from Luke's story, one of the emphases for the adoption campaign is identity, and that identity and family through adoption, and the wonderful outcomes it can bring for children.
You do need more people to come forward, though. Just looking at the figures, there's been a 23% decrease in the number of children being adopted over the last 5 years. What do you put that down to?
I think we have to, understand the impact of the pandemic. But what we would say is that, there are many myths around adoption, and people need to think again and come onto our website to see that if you're thinking about it, then the likelihood is you will be able to have a conversation with us.
I mean, families come in all shapes and sizes, don't they? So being single, too old, unemployed, disabled, I mean, they actually give you life experiences that could be invaluable to someone who wants to be adopted.
Definitely, and children's experiences are different, and children come in with different needs. So we have disabled children, we have children who are wanting to be together as brothers and sisters, and older children. So people's experiences of life are really important for our children.
How hard is it to keep, say, siblings all together? I mean, you're also looking for people to come forward and potentially adopt people who have additional needs. Is that particularly difficult?
I think what people need to understand is that there are support. There are support for people when they are thinking of children with additional needs and with brothers and sisters. So we would encourage anybody that's thinking about giving a child a loving home to get in touch.
Incredibly rewarding, I'm sure. Amanda White, for now, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of course, there's more information on the Adopt South West website.